Especially if you're sick. You know, Cora, I know you're dealing with that right now,
Oh
aren't you?
yeah, loaded up on the vitamin C for sure. And you know, we do have local pirate festivities going on this weekend, don't we?
That we do around here, especially in Tampa, how they have something going on down there.
That's going to be very fun. So as we head off this show, we're going to send it off to Ian. How are you doing there, bucko?
Hey, I'm doing all right. We actually have a good forecast in for you for Florida. It's rather timid weather as we have a dry front moving on through, which will be not really doing a whole lot to the temperatures, but it will be drying us out some more. So as we look across the board, pretty dry weather for most of us, and it's going to be a great weekend, in fact. We have tomorrow, it's going to be a little bit on the windy side as that front pushes on through, but that's not going to really affect your day too much. There will be a short warm-up ahead as well. We have just a small window left of warm air until another cold front comes on through, which we'll be talking about later. So unfortunately, this warm air won't last for too much longer. With another cool blast following early on in the week, next week, we're going to be dealing with that, and we'll get to that later. Tonight's forecast, as that dry front passes through, temperatures are going to be rather on the cool side, 47 degrees in Tallahassee, 47 in St. Marks, so cool temperatures all around for us here. And we look on into tomorrow's forecast, that wind's going to be dying out by the evening, and we're going to be having some mild temperatures, which won't be too bad for you guys to deal with, but really a great forecast for us this weekend as we move on, looking forward to the future ahead. But we're going to throw it back to the desk with more.
Thank you, Even. So, you know, Miami's a very popular port of call for the Pirates back in the day.
That's right, and we have a basketball game against them this Sunday. Miami's team that recently beat Duke, too.
Yes, they did. They beat Duke about a couple weeks ago, and they're going to be here on Sunday at 12:30 in the Civic Center. And that's going to be quite a game, and it's perfectly timed to catch it, so you can catch it before the Super Bowl.
That's right. You know, the game starts at 12:30 and probably be over by 3:30 at the latest, so you still have plenty of time to go pick up your food before you head on over home for the game.
Yeah, so you get a double dose of basketball and a good old football.
Yeah, so that's really nice. Big sports day on Sunday.
Yeah, and you know, and speaking of sports, we do have the Super Bowl on Sunday, as we spoke of, and it's the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots.
That's right. It's going to be a really good game for sure.
Yeah, and a lot of people across the country have lots of opinions about this game, especially considering the scandal following some of the teams.
Yeah, and we'll get into that next, but for right now, we're going to send it out to Paxton for a look at our local weather.
Thank you, guys. Well, today's low temps happened this morning, 31 in Tallahassee, so you could see that we were freezing, and there was even some frost on the ground this morning as well around Florida State and around the Tallahassee area as well. Currently, it is 61 in Tallahassee, partly cloudy. That dew point right there, it is 30 degrees. It's quite low. You could definitely feel it in our atmosphere. It feels nice, nothing humid, and we don't have to deal with any of the rain today, along with tomorrow, which would be perfect for all of us. Satellite and radar is showing, trying to keep with the pirate festivities going on. It's been clear mostly all today. We did have a little cloud cover this morning, but that all cleared up, progressing on inward through today. And it's going to stay relatively clear going into tomorrow as well. Dew point is 30 degrees, quite low. And as you see around the surrounding areas, we're experiencing the same values, 34 Valdosta. The high points are in the south near Carabel and in 45 in Apalachicola. So we are experiencing that dry air, and it's nice and cool for us. Futurecast is showing that we do have some cloud cover in the north of us in Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi area. And that progresses downward into our area going into tomorrow morning, bringing in this dry front, which you can see right here. It's a dry front bringing in the chance of showers just a little bit, nothing too much, just about 10% chance. And it's going to be a lot cooler behind this as well. So make sure you bundle up, bring those jackets, and it will be cold as well going into tomorrow night and into Saturday morning. So if you do have plans for Gasparilla, it's going to be cool in Tampa as well. So bring those jackets with you. For tonight, it's going to be 47. Dry front passes through. Like I said, bring your jacket, but the winds are going to be nice and calm, so we don't have to worry about the wind chill factor so much. And then for tomorrow, it's going to be 62, clearing throughout the day, and the wind dies by the evening. So tonight it's going to be nice and calm, but tomorrow the winds do pick up as the front starts to pass along into our area, into the south of us, and then the winds will begin to die down again throughout the evening. And then for the boating forecast for tomorrow, if you have plans for the water, if you have plans to celebrate the pirate festivities, Gasparilla in Tampa, or in our local area in the Gulf, the winds are going to be 15 knots, waves 3 to 4 feet. and a moderate chop. So it's nothing too bad out there. So it'll be a nice, enjoyable day. It's going to be nice and sunny and nice and mild for you. And then, as you can see from the 7-day, it's going to be 62, and it'll only be in the 60s throughout the remainder of the 7-day, except for Monday where it is 58, and the chance of rain picks up for Sunday, Monday, and going into Wednesday as well. But at least for this weekend, it's going to be nice for Saturday. Sunday, even though it's raining, we're all going to be watching the Super Bowl. But we're going to hand this on over to Shane for more on the Southeast.
Thank you, Paxton. We're going to start off with a look at what the temperatures are right now across the entire Southeast. And it's looking pretty seasonable across the panhandle of Florida right now, 61 degrees in the capital of Florida. A bit warmer, though, actually, to our north in Alabama, 69 in Montgomery. And warmer still in New Orleans, topping off this map at 73 degrees. So we can see that pocket of warm air off to our west. That's going to not really affect our region that much, but note all the moisture out there associated with the cold front that will be making its way into our region. Dew point is 46 in Montgomery, 53 is the high one there in New Orleans. The higher the dew point, the more moisture in the air right now, but none of these are up like 70 degrees, only 30 here in Tallahassee, so it's pretty dry and comfortable out there right now. And the water vapor map here is going to be telling a story of all the systems moving across the region. We've got orange off to the south right now. This indicates all that dry air that's scooting off past the Florida Keys and beyond. And then in the north is a lot of moisture, lots of active weather going on up there that's going to be changing our weather patterns over the next few days. We've got all these bright shades of green moving in south of Shreveport over New Orleans. That's where they had the higher dew points naturally with the higher water vapor content in the air right now. And the wind speed as well. These are pretty gusty out there behind the front. Lots of strong winds coming out of the north and bringing cooler temperatures with them, checking in at 17 miles per hour in Little Rock, 7 in Tupelo, and much lighter winds here in Tallahassee, only 3 miles per hour for us. So there's that front of these bands of cloud making their way in from the west, and a big arc of cloud dipping down to the south, bringing some moisture to Alabama and Georgia this evening. And taking a look at what things are going to be doing over the next few days, we see that those bands of cloud are going to be pushing their way off into the north, and we're actually going to have snow come in to the western fringes of Texas. And keep a close eye on this pattern here. This is where the rainfall bands are going to be approaching our region for the weekend, as we have another band of rain beginning to make the forecast a little bit more soggy as we approach Sunday. But enough of Sunday. For tonight in Tallahassee, we're going to get down to 47 degrees in the AM. Freezing temperatures in the northern regions of the southeast, 38 in Montgomery. Waking up to 32 degrees tomorrow morning in Tupelo and climbing to beautiful, comfortable temperatures. 50 degrees in Tupelo, 58 in Montgomery, 62 here in Tallahassee with sunshine prevailing. What do you think about that over at the desk?
Well, that's great news for us this weekend. You know what else is happening this weekend? Big game, Super Bowl. We talked about it last segment. We're going to get a little bit more into it in this game. Not the weather. We're going to save that for Paxton and Ian to talk about. We're going to talk about what's going to be happening. Seahawks, Patriots, who are you taking?
Well, funny story is back when I was a little girl, I went to the beach, and a Seahawk stole my sandwich right out of my hand at the beach. So I'm going with the New England Patriots on this one. I do not like seagulls, Seahawks, or whatever they are. So Patriots are going to win a very convincing margin. So
Okay, so you're picking Patriots big, right?
yes.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go opposite from you. I'll say Seahawks just to make it more interesting for us. So,
And why do you think that?
Because, I don't know, I didn't pick on seagulls as a little kid like you did, handing them sandwiches, playing with them.
It stole it out of my hand. Okay, I wasn't picking at it. It just swooped down and stole my sandwich.
Stole it. Yeah, that's not great. Well, we're just talking about Boston and Seattle, so we're going to go ahead and get into their weather as we look at our national. You see it's 29 degrees in Boston right now. They do have some snow coming up from that system that passed through just the other day. And for once, believe it or not, Seattle's not getting much of anything at all. You see they're hanging over there at 54 degrees. No rain at all for them. And you see this nice little dip down in that cold temperatures through Kansas City, down to Memphis, across through Nashville, and back up through Louisville, Kentucky. Well, for satellite and radar, like we were saying, that system is moving through the northeast right over there. And there's this other bigger system right behind it that's affecting Phoenix right now, so they will get a lot of rain. So all those people that will be going to visit for the Super Bowl will have an unpleasant couple days, but thankfully they'll be good by the time the game comes around. Current snow cover, you see that around Denver and Colorado, it's looking real good for their ski areas over there. It's awesome. And same thing in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which is just about right there. They're getting a lot of snow. But bad news for the people in Boston. Not a whole lot of ski places up there. You see over Boston and the Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine absolutely covered right now due to those conditions they have had. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a look up there and see what's going on. You see it, all that snow is pushing through the Buffalo area into New York. Unfortunately for them, that's all they've seen all year, so they're sure they're having a miserable time. It's moving on through, and it will be in Boston before you know it, and Maine will even have more snow. You remember the last graphic said they were already completely covered. A look a little bit further south down to this front, this right behind me, it's coming through. Not a very strong one. It'll come to us in a couple days, and locals will talk about that a little bit more. And here's our system in Arizona coming up through California. There's a good bit of rain coming up. Believe it or not, Phoenix is expecting about an inch of rain, which is a lot for them, believe it or not. Seeing about from half an inch up to maybe even 2 inches potentially, some models have shown. Well, here's one last look at the full satellite and radar imagery. So we're going to go ahead and go to watches and warnings. You do see that they have some warnings down there in New Mexico for the winter weather, and same thing over in the Northeast as you would expect for what they've been seeing. Well, futurecast temperatures looking pretty good all across the area. As we go down, look, check out Atlanta. It's going to jump down into the 30s by early in the morning, and as that front comes through, those temperatures will get a little bit lower this weekend, but that's not coming through just yet, so we do have a few days before that happens. Moving on, and you see the whole country right now by Friday night will be pretty cold, about 8 p.m. So we're moving on into tonight's forecast. 33 in Albuquerque, not too great for them. I mean, typically you do see colder temperatures there at night. We got 37 in Atlanta, 49 New Orleans. Taking a look over at the East Coast, 47 here in Tallahassee, 29 in Boston. Pretty typical, and Minneapolis the big winner at 8 degrees. Here's a quick look at tomorrow's forecast for you. We're at 62 here, and you see a lot of sunshine out there, and Coral's going to talk a little bit more about the local.
Thanks, Daniel. As we get through our weather headlines, you can see tomorrow's going to be a windy day, and we're definitely going to warm up shortly thereafter. And of course, we have our next front system will definitely bring a cool blast of cold air that'll follow. So make sure you have your jackets prepared, and don't be surprised by the 30s you'll see later on in the forecast. But as we go on into tonight, you can see 61 degrees right now, partly cloudy conditions. The dew point and humidity have dropped off a little bit, so that's feeling nice. Not too dry, not too humid. So it's actually very nice and comfortable outside. And if you're headed outside, enjoy the last rays of sunshine while we still have them, and go enjoy those outdoor activities. Go for a run, and you might want to bring a light sweater. Things are going to start to cool down pretty soon as the sun sets. But overall, we can't complain. It's actually been very pretty lately. And you can see temperatures across the area, 60 in Monticello, 63 in St. Marks, 61 in Tallahassee and Quincy. Things are actually very nice outside across the region, and you can expect this kind of trend to continue as we head on through the day. And you can see with our satellite and radar, all those clouds have just kind of moved on through. All we see are those really light, high-level clouds, which will be sticking around just shortly for a little bit. And they're moving on through, not causing much of a blockage, so there's abundant sunshine today. Nothing to really worry about for us. But when we zoom out in the water vapor, you can see just off to our north, that is where the frontal boundary is. You can kind of see the little gray swoop right there. That's where that front is starting to push out, and that is going to be bringing weather into our area in the next few days. So make sure you look for that. It's kind of hard to tell. A lot of the water vapor is very close to each other. And as we head on into tonight's temperatures, you can see 40s across the area, 46 in Monticello, 47 in Tallahassee, 47 in St. Marks, and of course the dry front pushes through. As we said, it is a dry front, and so clouds are going to be around, but they're not going to be very thick. So there's going to be plenty of sunshine and a brief cool down. And of course, we do have tomorrow's temperatures back into the 60s, and it's going to be a really nice day. And the best part is that wind we've been seeing lately is going to start to die down, and that means we can start enjoying a lot of our activities without our hair flying in our faces or the ball flying way out of left field. So that's going to be enjoyable for most of us, and the wind's not going to be too much of a problem. It's going to be a very nice day. Of course, back into the 60s, so we're back into that warming trend, starting to feel like spring, and I think most of us are pretty excited about that. And as we show you on the 7-day, enjoy the next couple of days. We do have dry conditions and back into the 60s, and of course, temperatures are going to be really low, 30s and 40s, so if you're doing anything outside or over in the evening hours or in the early morning, you're going to want that jacket. And of course, be prepared on Sunday and Monday to have the umbrella and rain jacket, especially if you're hopping over to a friend's house to catch the game. You want that rain gear as you head home overnight, or of course, Monday night. You want to be ready for that during the morning. And Tuesday and Wednesday are going to stay cloudy as we have that next front pull through. But as we take things back to Ian and Paxton, what news do you have to tell us?
Hey, thanks, Coral. We actually have some unfortunate news for areas of California, specifically San Francisco. About a year ago at this time, they saw the third driest January that they had ever seen. And unfortunately for them, they are seeing almost near record repeat conditions there right now.
I know, and so far in San Francisco, they have yet to see rainfall this month. So if that stands, they only have 2 more days left till it reaches February. It would be the first January without rain since they first began taking records in 1850.
It's definitely an incredible feat to have, and that just shows you the weather that they've had in California has been rough for them. In fact, the area that's really seen the least or the most rain isn't even that good. It's well below average. Southern California has seen about an inch up to this point in the year, but they're unfortunately in dry conditions there for California. So that's unfortunate for them.
And plus the wildfire season's coming up for them too. So this dry weather is not faring well for them at all.
No, and similarly here in Florida, we have dry weather that we are going to be talking about. Not really a whole lot going on as I move on into the wall. We have not a whole lot to speak of in terms of weather other than it's dry and it's sunny. It's a great weekend for us ahead. You can see on the radar, not a whole lot to really speak of. We have a dry front moving on through overnight, which you can't even really see on the radar because there's not really much going on with it, but it will be drying us out just a tad bit as we move on through. Currently outside, conditions are rather mild in all Florida. We have 61 in Tallahassee, we have 67 in Tampa, 69 in Fort Myers, and a little bit warmer down in Miami, 69 in Miami. So really great conditions for right now. It's been on the warmer side for most of Florida, but that is soon to change as we will be having dry air that's going to be moving on through. You can see with the dew point, those temperatures along with the dew point, the humidity, once you factor that in, is showing that it's feeling pretty nice outside. 30 as a dew point in Tallahassee, 43 in Tampa, so it's really feeling pretty great for most of Florida. So temperatures are on the cool side, and with that cool front moving through, drier conditions as well. Winds are a little bit variable right now. You can see mild conditions for most of the area, 3 in Tallahassee, 5 down in Tampa, and 8 and moving out of the east from Miami. But winds aren't really telling a whole lot of the story. What really is, though, is the water vapor map. The water vapor map shows that we have a moist air moving on through, so that's going to be keeping our temperatures rather on the warm side for here in Tallahassee just for a little bit. But once this cold front moves on through, you're going to be noticing a difference in temperature for areas in North Florida. But that will continue to move on through for bringing great conditions for the weekend. It's going to be a bit on the cool side, but as you can see, this cold front is going to be moving on through. You can kind of tell from the map looking across, you can see in the Atlantic moving on through. Not a great chance for rainfall for most of Florida, but that's going to continue moving on through, and you're going to see dry conditions persisting. Great weather for the weekend. Gasparilla, especially in Tampa, is going to be seeing fantastic weather. And moving down in Tampa, you can see forecast for them there is 70 degrees with a lot of sunshine. So all of those that have been looking forward to the weekend have a great deal of sunshine. So they're going to be having a good time there. I know it's going to be cool in the morning when a lot of people start to set up, but temperatures are going to warm up into the 70s, and it should be rather fantastic. Tonight's forecast shows that the temperatures are going to be on the cooler side, 53 degrees in Tampa. We have 51 in Orlando, 58 down in Miami. So not so bad for them there. It's a little on the cooler side. And for tomorrow's forecast, it's once again our last warm day until we have a cool down moving on through with a cold front coming on early next week with temperatures in the 70s for most of Florida. So rather great conditions for the area around there. And as you move on through, we are going to send it off to Shane with more on the winter forecast.
Thanks very much, Ian. It is certainly beautiful around the Sunshine State right now, but that's not the case across the whole country. In fact, they're in the Northeast where they just got buried under snow. They're still digging themselves out of it. Take a look at this picture from my Aunt Gail's driveway in Plymouth. Her car, half buried under drifts of snow that got blown around in the snowstorm over the last few days. And this satellite shows that she's not alone there in Plymouth. All of eastern Massachusetts is buried under snow. This is an actual satellite taken earlier today, shared with us by Scott Bachmeyer on Twitter. Thank you for the tweet, by the way. It is an incredible view of how much snow cover is across the country right now. And let's take a look at the national view that Adonis has whipped up for us. Indeed, Maine and Massachusetts are the high points for deep snow, but they're not the only ones right now. Pennsylvania, New York, Ohio, Michigan, and Wisconsin are all primarily covered in snow this evening on this gorgeous evening. But let's look at what the map is showing for weather systems moving across the country. We've got two big ones to tell you about, one in the southwest and what's left of that famous snowstorm moving across the northeast right now. Let's start out in the southwest, where we've got a few advisories that we need to inform everyone about. The counties shaded in purple on the map are winter weather advisories. The counties shaded in blue are winter storm watches, and the pink ones are the winter storm warnings. Being the warnings, these are the most important. They mean that snowfall and blowing wind is making travel hazardous in these countries right now. But let's check out the snowfall that's going to be coming their way. And it doesn't look very impressive on radar, I'll give you that. But they're going to be getting a second batch of snow that's really going to bury some of the regions in the northern Rocky Mountains just north of Albuquerque. And now shifting our gaze to the northeast, the story that's been on everyone's mind lately. All this snowfall is whipping its way across upstate New York and eastern Pennsylvania, dousing those areas that are already buried under inches of snow and making its way into Massachusetts, where they're expecting over another foot of snow on top of the drifts that they're already digging themselves out of. So it's definitely going to continue to be a snowy situation across the country. Now, taking a look at some temperatures right now, here's what we're expecting all these cities to get down to tonight for their low temperatures. Sub-zero temperatures, Minneapolis ringing in at 8 degrees, just barely above 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Boston, Massachusetts ringing in 29 degrees, they remain below freezing. 33 degrees just above in our nation's capital. And tomorrow, how high are the temperatures going to climb? Only 26 degrees in Minneapolis, 50 in Billings, and Seattle coming in at 52 degrees, with Boston and D.C. finally breaking the freezing temperatures, ringing in at 40 degrees. Let's send it back to Paxton and Ian at the desk where it's not so chilly.
I'm so glad it's not so chilly here.
No, it's pretty nice, and you usually want to get pretty cold.
Yeah, pretty cold all the time, but we're going to switch this off a little bit to football.
Yeah, Super Bowl Sunday is coming up, and right now Phoenix is bracing themselves for a good bit of rain for Friday and Saturday, but fortunately for them, they've got a change in the forecast for Sunday.
Which is very fortunate for them because they also have a retractable roof down in that stadium, so if it's a nice Sunday, they could have that open, have some sunshine peering on through into the football field, fresh air, be kind of nice out there.
Absolutely. 64,000 people packing the stadium Sunday afternoon, and it's going to be a clear and sunny afternoon. Should be great weather for football. Shouldn't have any real impact on no Deflategate this time, hopefully.
Nope. And doesn't matter who you root for, Seahawks or Patriots, it's going to just be a beautiful day out there in Phoenix for the Super Bowl.
Should be great weather for them, and they're going to have something to look forward to. But we are going to send it off to Daniel with more.
Thanks. We'll be talking all day about Boston, Arizona, all these places that have had lots of weather going on. Right now we're going to take a look a little bit closer to home and what we've seen today. What we saw high is 65 today, which is right on average, which is really nice, but the low of 31 is way below average. But this will be coming up over the next few days, and we'll get to the low later on. But for right now, we're going to take a look at our current conditions. 61 degrees, partly cloudy, real nice right now. Same story for the next few days. We're going to have really nice time until about Sunday and Monday when that rain's going to start coming, because we're going to have that front come through, which will drop our temperatures down next week. Well, dew point right now 30, so it's not really that humid out. You see 31 there. And for satellite and radar, real nice. Not a whole lot. Just a few clouds coming in now and then. Not too bad at all. Well, Futurecast, we see that Thursday night, not really a whole lot going on. We have sunny skies in the Friday in the morning. Well, let's get a little bit cloudy and cooler tomorrow get cooler. And for Friday night, it'll be a little clearer, but it will be getting colder, unfortunately for us. So that's not great news there. Well, good news is, though, on the water tomorrow, 3 to 4 feet for surf, which is really nice. So this is surf, not swell. The swell's going to be a little bit higher. We'll talk about that for boating when we get into that. See, a good day for sailing also. Nice wind, though, coming out of the north, 15 knots. But still, if you have a good plans on the beach, tomorrow will be a great day there. Well, this one's out on the beach. I'm sorry, last one was out on the water. This one surf 2 to 3 feet. You see there was 3 to 4 there. It means the swell's higher than the surf. And the water temperature is 55, so if you are going in, just be prepared that it will be very cold. So good luck to you if you decide to delve in those ponds. You see high tide will be at about 2:42, so if you are planning on going surfing, make sure to go out after the high tide. Make sure the tide's going out so the surf will be just a little bit cleaner for you. Tonight's forecast, we're going to see 47 as our low. The dry front pushes back through, so we'll be getting a little colder. It will be cloudy, unfortunately, and thankfully the wind will be calm, so it'll feel like 47 out. It won't feel too much, like it'll be in the 30s. Well, tomorrow in Tallahassee, we're seeing the clouds will be clearing out like you saw earlier. We can expect a lot of cloud cover in the morning and be clearing out, and by the night, when the moon comes out, it'll be real nice, all clear there. Wind will be picking up, but it will be dying by night. Well, here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Like we said, there's going to be some clouds tomorrow. 62 is going to be our high. On Saturday, a great day also with the high of 64. But you see on Sunday and Monday, that's when the rain will start coming in. Tuesday, we'll have a little bit of break from rain until we get into Wednesday, where another front will be coming through. And you see a consistent pattern here. We'll be into the 60s all through the week. What else is going on, Paxton and Ian?
Well, we've got Gasparilla coming up, which we're excited about.
We are very excited. We're actually going tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we're going to celebrate Saturday, have some fun with some friends, your family, and all of that fun stuff.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to it. It'll probably be my last Gasparilla before I move on, since this is my last year at Florida State. But I'm looking forward to it. And the great weather is something I'm excited about. Should be fantastic weather, and it'll be sunny. It won't be too cool in the morning, so it should be great.
Be nice shorts weather. We haven't had that here in Tallahassee, and I don't even remember the last time I wore shorts. It's been kind of cool here lately. 60s. I'm more of an 80s person, but we all know that by now because I like to talk about that.
Absolutely. It's going to be a cool month, or a cool weekend rather, in the morning, but it should warm up rather nice in the day. Thanks to all that sun we're going to be getting.
Yeah, as you can see, from Friday to Saturday, we have some sun, some mild temperatures in the 60s. Sunday and Monday, rain chances pick up 40%. They clear off a little bit Tuesday, but return back Wednesday with a vengeance with 60%. But you could like us on Facebook.com/FSU Weather. Follow us on Twitter.com/FSU Weather. Or you can watch us anytime on Livestream.com/FSU Weather.
And we are going to be having a great weekend, and we hope you do too. I'm excited.
I'm definitely excited. But remember, have fun, enjoy pirate festivities.
And most importantly, arg, ladies.
Have a good night.